Well, hello everybody, welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to be making some fruit tartlets with a custard filling and fresh fruit on the top. These are actually quite simple to make. They take a little bit of time but not too much, but you have to make a pastry case, then you make some custard, and then when the custard is cooled down you put it in the pastry case and put the fruit on top. So it is quite easy, but they're perfect for a summer's day, I think. So I'll go on to the ingredients. And for the pastry I have 130 grams, which is 1 cup less 2 tablespoons of plain flour. I have 60 grams, 4 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of softened unsalted butter. I have 40 grams of icing sugar, which is 1/3 of a cup, 1 medium egg yolk, that would be large in the USA, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then for the custard I have 180 millilitres, 3/4 of a cup of milk. I have 2 medium egg yolks, again large in the USA, 18 grams, 2 tablespoons of corn flour, 60 grams of caster sugar, and that is 1/4 of a cup plus 1 tablespoon or thereabouts, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and in this case I'm using vanilla bean paste because it shows the seeds and that might show in the custard, which would be quite nice. So I'll set the custard items to one side, and for fruit I'm going to use blueberries, raspberries, and maybe a little bit of kiwi fruit, but you can use whichever fruit you want basically. You don't have to be limited by what I'm using. And then we'll go on to make our pastry, and for that I'm going to put the icing sugar and the butter into a bowl, and then with a spatula I'm simply going to press the butter into the icing sugar until we've got it all mixed together. And as you see, that comes together very quickly and easily. And then into that I'm going to add the vanilla extract and my egg yolk, and I'm going to mix those in until they're combined with the butter and sugar. And that was good. So then I'm going to add my flour, and I'm actually going to add the flour in 2 or 3 additions. I'm simply going to again mix that in until it forms a paste. And simply by pressing with my spatula I've formed that into quite a nice paste. But I'm just going to use a hand to squeeze that together, and then I'm going to wrap that in cling film and chill it. Or cling film is plastic wrap. So that's very easily done. So I'll put that onto some plastic wrap. and I'll flatten that into a sort of rectangular disc, if there is such a thing. And then I will chill that in the fridge for 30 minutes. And then once it's chilled for 30 minutes, I'm going to roll it out to the thickness of about 1/4 of an inch, and then chill it again, then cut out the shapes we need, and then chill them for 20 minutes, and then we'll be ready to bake them. So I've chilled the pastry dough for 30 minutes, and I've put it between 2 sheets of plastic wrap on a board, and I'm going to roll it out to a thickness of about 1/4 of an inch, 5 to 6 millimeters. And that's good like that. So I'm going to chill that for 20 minutes. And then I'm going to cut it out using the scalloped side of a 3-inch cutter, and I'm going to get about 8 out of this, I think. And then they're going to chill again, and then once they've chilled again, they're going to go onto the upturned bottoms of a muffin tin, and that way when I bake them, they will fold down over the muffin tin to make our cups for our fruits and our custard. So I'll be back with you in 20 minutes when this dough has chilled again. So while that pastry dough is chilling, I'm going to make the custard, and for that I'm going to put my corn flour and the sugar into a bowl with the 2 egg yolks, and I'm going to whisk those around until they all get combined. That's good. And I'm going to heat my milk in a saucepan until it's just about boiling. And as the milk is coming up to the boil, I'm going to put the vanilla bean paste into it as well. So that milk is almost boiled, so I'm actually going to pour a little bit into my egg mixture and stir it around. That's to temper the eggs so they don't go lumpy. And then I'm going to pour the rest of the milk in and mix it around. Like that. And then I'm going to put that back into the saucepan, and I'm going to bring that to the boil, whisking the whole time until it boils and the mixture thickens into a custard. So I'll whisk that all the time. So that is thickened nicely, and if you see any lumps in it, you can put it through a strainer. Mine looks reasonably good, I think. So I'm going to put that into a bowl and allow it to cool down, ready to go into our pastry cases when they're baked. So I'm going to cut out my shapes. and I will roll out the excess pastry to get more, and then I'm going to chill those for 20 minutes again while I preheat my oven to 170 Celsius, that's 150 Celsius with a fan, 325 Fahrenheit, and then we'll be ready to bake them. So I have chilled my rolled out and cut out dough, and what I've done now is I've placed it on the upturned muffin tin, trying to centre it as best as possible, and I have my oven preheating to 170 Celsius, 150 Celsius with a fan, 325 Fahrenheit, and I'm going to put these into the oven and I'm going to bake them for about 15 minutes, and they should fold around the upturned muffin tin and form a nice little cup. Then I'll take them out and cool them down, then I'll come back and we'll fill them. I baked the pastry bases for 15 minutes. I took them out of the oven and I've put them onto a wire rack to cool down. So I've started to put some of the custard into them, and you could pipe this in, but I don't think it needs to be piped in. And some of the cases are a bit uneven. It depends on how well you centre them on the base of the muffin tin, but they'll be fine. And then just spread the custard out, and you can adjust how much is in if you've put more in one than another, and then you can just top them with your fruit. And with them filled like that, you could, if you wanted to, glaze them with some warmed apricot jam that's been diluted a little bit with water. You could sprinkle some caster sugar over the top if you want, but I think they look fine like that. So I'll have a taste of one. That is very, very good. You've got the lovely buttery pastry case and the creamy thick custard, and then the fresh fruit as well. And as I say, you can put whatever fruit you want on. So that's going to be it for this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below the video and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for this recipe, and I'll put a link for it below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.